Let's quick hits. Let's do it.
That's actually Kev smashing the computer.
In 20 years.
It will be. It will be someday. I love smashing things, computers. And right now we're going to smash the narrative right here as we become top G's with Andrew Tate. Let's pull up this first thing here. Andrew Tate with a fascinating take here yesterday went viral. Sex is for making children. Any man who has sex with a woman because it feels good is gay. Oh, my pee-pee feels good. This is great. In fact, if you are 40 with less than 5 children, you're probably gay. All that feel-good pee-pee sex and hardly any genetic legacy. And people were going off on him. I covered this on my show yesterday. I just thought it was absolutely hilarious. Quick hits, everybody. What are your thoughts on sex is just for making children? Fabian?
You know, because of the last few episodes, now I know more about Andrew Tate than I've ever have. And frankly, ever really care to know. I don't even know what the hell he's talking about. I don't know what he's on. I don't know which Romanian police he's fighting or which case he's fighting now. It's just, to me, it's clickbait. I mean, it really doesn't tell me anything. If sex feels good, you're gay. What? I don't get it.
It's exactly that. It's just a bunch of clickbait. But I just go back to what we said literally last week, is that he says one thing that's right, filled with a bunch of BS in there. So he's right that, I mean, to make kids, you got to have sex, right? I think.
Well, okay, so I don't agree with him. I don't agree with him. But what I think he's trying to say is that, like, the people that have sex just that are purely for pleasure, like homosexuals, the only purpose of their sex is for pleasure. And so if your sex is not for making children, he's trying to say that all sex that is not for making children is inherently gay, which is not true. That's not, I mean, you can also have it. You can also bond with your partner. It can be an incredibly intimate experience. Sexuality is actually God-given when it is hetero and with a single partner monogamously. But like, that's what he's trying to say, is because it's for pleasure, you must be a homo.
Yeah, like, I get where he was going with that, but that line of conclusion, it's so far out of the. It's just, oh my god,
I don't like it. I don't like it. It's discriminating against all types of sex because all sex matters. So
right.
That's just my conclusion.
All sex matters. Starting to sound like a liberal there, but not quite so big. And if you want to talk about somebody who's big, our next quick hit is about Chris Christie. Let's talk about Chris Christie right here.
Take a look. That's a big hit right there.
That is a big hit.
Take a look and a listen to the fattest man alive talk about something he knows nothing about. Here's
Mike Rotund.
Is a really awful thing to go through. And if you look at Trump physically right now, he looks terrible. A criminal trial is a really...
but do it.
Whoa.
Okay, no, but Cody, producer Cody, make sure that when we pause and we look at Chris Christie, keep him up on screen and go into when he's zoomed up. Like,
the awful thing to go through. And if you look
at pause. So then he says, if you look at Trump right now, he doesn't look good.
Someone get that man a mirror.
He looks terrible. That's what Chris Christie, this man right here who's like slouched over in his seat, is
look at that posture.
150 pounds overweight, and is also.
Hey, he lost some weight. He lost some weight.
Look, I want you to notice how, he's obviously a very wide person, right? Mm-hmm. Look at how wide that chair is behind him. That thing encapsulates him like a little, that is a big chair.
It swaddles him like a newborn.
Yeah,
I just can't get past like the waist. You know, that's just
he's just the most tone deaf individual. Like that, he showed it on the debate stage and everything too. He would come up on stage and just basically repeat Adam Kinzinger talking points consistently.
That's right, baby.
But even from a funnier way, because it was this big man who is like the poster child for why we actually should let people use Ozempic. So.
That's exactly what I was thinking when I was watching him right now. I'm like, wow, if anyone can use it, it's probably him.
Probably be him. Well, let's talk about some prettier people here in this next quick hit right here. Florida-based busiest mermaid in the world is paid $10,000 an hour for some performances. A woman who grew up terrified of the ocean is now a professional mermaid, making thousands of dollars in a short period of time. El Jimenez is a 34-year-old mermaid originally from Puerto Rico, and Leonardo DiCaprio said she was 12 years too old to perform at his birthday party because because she now lives in Miami and performs as a mermaid act for a living, telling Fox News Digital that she can earn up to $10,000 an hour for some events. She claims to be the busiest professional mermaid in the world, sometimes with triple bookings a day. She said, quote, "I took 3 months of swimming lessons, then went on to get my scuba cert and lifeguard cert. And now she makes anywhere between $500 and $10,000, minimum $300 an hour."
I
there a
didn't know
video?
people. Yeah, is there a video? That's what I was gonna
I
say.
think,
Sorry.
yeah, try to play. I think it might have an ad or something, but it should
Beautiful
play.
ads. We get a guy ad blocker.
Ad.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. All right. Remove it. Let the ad play. Oh, David just went bar. He barred us.
I think he didn't watch the ad enough, and they got mad at him.
Yeah, I guess he didn't watch the ad enough. But I can actually probably find a picture of this that we can pull up real quick. But Fabian, real quick, would you be a mermaid? Would you be a mermaid for that?
I would be a merman. A merman. You ever see what is the movie with Ben Stiller? Zoolander. When he's like his dad, he's like, "You prancing around like a mermaid." He goes, "Merman, Dad." Merman.
Producer Cody, I just put it in the private chat. Pull up this picture so we can take a look at this woman who gets paid way too much to swim.
My thing is that I didn't know that there's like a fetish for mermaids. Apparently, like what a bunch of rich dudes are willing to pay thousands of dollars an hour. Apparently, for now it makes sense. I guess all I needed to see was this picture.
Can we
And
zoom in
now
on
it
this? In this picture?
suddenly all makes sense.
Try to click on it. I think you should be able to click on it, Cody. There you go. Yeah, you could take a look at this woman who gets paid.
This is like Only Mermaids. Like this is Mermaids' version of OnlyFans.
So she goes to these events, but what I'm wondering is who other than like you. There's two types of people that I could see paying for a mermaid at their party of whatever kind, and that's like a 10-year-old girl for her birthday party or younger, for somebody, and that's got to be like a very wealthy parent or an incredibly pretentious individual. To where having like butlers and waiters wasn't enough. They're going to have these performance artists.
This reminds me of so when I see things like this happen, the thing is, I'm sure in the very beginning, she wasn't earning 10K, right? I mean, obviously not. Maybe once in a while. But the fact that she said that and she branded herself as someone who charges those exorbitant fees, now I'm sure she's all over social media. Now people actually pay it because they want to have the mermaid from social media in their party, so everyone can say, "Wow, you're so cool! You got this mermaid." The same thing with the Salt Bay guy, right? Like, why would you pay $200 to go have a guy pour salt on your steak? It wasn't because the salt tastes that good; it's because he wanted to take a picture and be cool. So it's one of those cultural things that gets hot for a while, and then just like the Nurse Et guy, it kind of fades off. Especially when he got
$10,000 for an overglorified photo booth.
Yeah, I don't think she's getting paid. She's not getting paid that. Maybe every once in a while.
She says that's what she says to Fox Business. So I don't know, but let's get on to because we got to make sure these hits are still quick. So quick hit number 4, TikTok has promised to sue over the potential US ban. What's the legal outlook? We don't know, but as you guys might have heard, TikTok's parent company, ByteDance has now threatened to sue because President Joe Biden signed into law that if they do not sell, they will be banned in the United States, all for claims regarding national security due to their ownership from the Chinese Communist Party. What are your guys' thoughts on the TikTok ban, on the chance that they might sue? I even saw another headline since I prepped this that said they would rather have TikTok banned than sell. Was another thing that I heard. So what do you guys think?
This is interesting because they're fighting back. And it's going to end up in the Supreme Court. Maybe the Supreme Court has had a busy year. It's like they're the parents and everyone's like trying to figure everything out all over again. Like people just can't be normal. They got to go to mom and dad and say, "Hey, can you make a decision on this for me?" It's going to be interesting because they got that Chinese money too. So they'll spare no expense.
Absolutely. David?
To me, it's just funny that Congress was able to do this so fast, so quickly, address this such a terrible issue, and they still can't address the border. Like a real invasion, a real threat to our security is happening at the border, and Congress can't address that. But within a matter of like that, they can address banning TikTok, and it makes me a little bit more skeptical about this actually, because it's like, okay, I understand the CCP influence behind this and the demoralization that it has on our current society, but at the same time, why is Congress suddenly so involved in this? I mean, in a sense, I'd want them to take action, but telling me that they all of a sudden all agree on this kind of makes me suspicious.
So to me, knowing what I know about the intelligence agencies, to me, it would kind of make sense with all the influence China has over politicians. Why would they vote against this? To me, a logical line of conclusion would say the intelligence agencies wants to force a sale so that they can inherit and sell it to Microsoft. Then the intelligence agency has their tentacles in it. Now they control that data. I think that is what the game plan is, because why would all these politicians who are owned by China vote against China? The only person they're scared more of than China, as Tucker Carlson just said on Joe Rogan, is the CIA and the FBI.
Absolutely. Well, and I even wonder too, I'm skeptical of this decision. Originally, I also thought TikTok should be banned because it makes sense. Okay, it's owned by China. They're collecting our data. We don't want another another country, especially one that's that's so adversarial like China, to have our data. But I also wonder if that's a national security threat. What about the hundreds of thousands of acres of farmland that China owns, or the Confucius Institutes on our public universities that China funds, or the plenty of other ways in which China has created influence over American businesses, over American land, American agriculture, American mines? Why is it that it's just TikTok? Why is that the one that we're focusing on? I don't know. Is Eric Swalwell just mad because Fang gave him bad head? I don't know. But that's my thing, is why is it that, like you said, David, why has that become our number one priority? But we can't answer that in just a quick hit. So last one here, and I think this one's pretty flippin' funny, is for the final quick hit, we have a drag queen who is making political statements at Drag Queen Story Hour in front of children. And I think we got a song to sing along here too. Let's hear it.
Free Palestine. Can I hear that? Free Palestine! If you're a drag queen and you know it, shout Free Palestine!
Are you kidding me?
You know it and you really want to show it. You're a drag queen and you know it, shout Free Palestine!
Woo! Look at that flag on the bottom right. That was that not the minor attracted persons flag?
Oh my God.
Is it the pedo flag? Do they have a pedo flag there?
It looks like it.
The map one. Mop or whatever it's called.
Oh my God.
What weak parents. All these parents are weak.
Horrible.
So if you're a drag queen and you know it, Free Palestine. It doesn't even make any flipping sense. That doesn't make any sense.
Wait. It does. They're saying
Are you kidding me?
They're saying Free Palestine from Hamas.
Well, okay, but if
yeah, they never said free it from what? That's a very valid point.
Maybe from all I know is that if a drag queen, if Palestine were freed as their actually, because we know, let's be honest, we know what they mean. If a drag queen were set over into a free Palestine, that drag queen wouldn't even be able to talk anymore because their head would be separated from their body, because that's what they do to people like that. And so once again, as we were talking like with Ari earlier, this is chicken for KFC. These are people where, and it's even worse because there's so much, like, this is just a perfect example of leftism nowadays. You got the drag queen. That's in and of itself. The drag queen also has to be in front of children, so grooming children, and then also indoctrinating children with a totally different ideology about why you should support terrorists. Like, all in one. All you're missing there is like Kamala Harris telling you that a school bus is yellow. So,
Kev, real quickly, I think you're affording them a lot more than you should, because seriously, if you think about it, it's two imaginary things. it's an imaginary person over here, drag queen, whatever it is. Hopefully we don't get banned on that. And then at the same time, they're talking about an imaginary place that never has existed, Palestine. So I hope that does it.
And that's why they say reality is subjective. So that's right along your lines. You know, I will say about this whole drag queen thing is their entire point is to shock people out of normal. So to live queerly, that's their goal. And queerly doesn't mean homosexual. It means different than regular. Anything that's
Really?
not hetero.
When
That's
I
what
was
they're
a
going
kid,
after.
when I was a kid, queer meant the guy holding the football that you would tackle. But
Yeah. And that's exactly what they're I mean, they're going after, like you said, grooming kids. Literally, if you go and you look up drag pedagogy, it's in a literal it's in a, I think, PubMed or something like that. But it's a published piece of peer-reviewed work written by Lil Miss Hot Mess. And this is where it comes from. And it says that we want to read the children into filth, meaning put all these ideas in their head. They want it to be something where the kid is very confused and questioning everything that's regular, and saying, you know, the drag queen is fun, cool colors. My teacher and my parents are very authoritarian. I want to be like the drag queen. And that's why they do it. That's why they do it in front of kids.
well,
I agree. I don't have anything else to say. You said it all right there.
Damn
no,
drag queens.
you're absolutely right. I mean, I think you said it better than I have ever possibly could.
Well, fellas, that does it for Kev's quick hits, right?
Those are Kev's quick hits right there.
Boom, boom. I
Oh.
love it.